Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. First, I'm going to talk about our activity that called Writing with Recency, Frequency, and Self-Monitoring. It is a structured writing task where bilingual students produce and revise text while consciously applying these three cognitive mechanisms. What is the goal of our activity? The goal of our activity is that the students recognize how recency, that are the words that they learned recently, how frequency, that are the words that they commonly use, and the self-monitorings, that are a key concept where they can conscious about their mistakes and their correction, shape their language choice. We also want them to compare how the process is different between writing and speaking, and how we plan the activity. We plan the activity first, select a familiar topic like historical events, photosynthesis, something like that. So students could focus on language rather than content. And then we structure the task into three phases. The first one is brainstorming, the second one is first draft, and the revision. And we also include a reflection prompt, some discussion questions about metacognition, and in this way they can think about their process.
Now we are gonna talk about resources that we designed. We created a writing guide with reminders about recency, frequency, and self-monitoring. A checklist for revision. For instance, did I replace common words with high frequency ones? A peer review worksheet to compare drafts and discuss changes. And a reflection prompt. For instance, how did monitoring your writing differ from monitoring speech?
Now we're going to be continuing with the sequence of the activity. We would run the activity with an introduction of 5 minutes, explaining recently, frequency, and self-monitoring with examples. Then we were going to continue with a brainstorm of 10 minutes, where the students would say recently and frequently words related with the topics, and we were going to write them in the board. And we were going to move on with the writing activity of 15 minutes, where they draft a short text without over editing with the help of the words that we find in the brainstorm. And we were going to revision the text using a list to refine language and clarity that was going to take us 10 minutes. And we were going to continue with a peer review of 10 minutes, sharing the drafts and gave them feedback to everyone. And we were going to finalize the session with a reflection of 5 minutes, where they wrote or discussed how the process compared to speaking.
Number 6. Okay, so we anticipate mixed reactions. Some students might struggle with balancing creative and rule following, feel surprised at how often they mix language before revising, enjoy the peer reviewing as it mirrors real world editing, find it harder than speaking since writing demands more deliberate control.
So finally, we have to see the expect results. First, we're gonna notice activation basis. For example, I use this word because we just learned it. It's something related with recency. Second, we're gonna improve metacognition by recognizing how they self-monitor differently by writing and speech. We also gonna produce clear text, for example, by prioritizing high-frequency words and revising intentionally. And finally, the transfer skills to speaking, for example, like pausing to choose what words I'm going to use to be more careful or to be carefully in the conversation. So I think we are done, team. Thanks all of you. This activity it's brightly brickness theory and practice, showing how bilinguals navigate language production and how can improve in these activities. So tune in the next time for most teaching strategies. Thank you guys.